A silent crack in your home may be louder than you think. Not a sound you hear with your ears, but one your soul feels slowly, day by day. Food enters your house, yet barakah feels thin. Money comes, yet peace slips away. Du'as are made, yet something feels blocked. In many Muslim homes, broken plates are kept for later. Cracked mirrors remain, quietly watching. Old, damaged objects stay in corners, ignored but present. Islam teaches us that nothing around us is neutral. So ask yourself carefully tonight, could the broken things in your home be silently standing between you and your rizq? Islam does not separate the visible from the invisible. What we touch with our hands often affects what we feel in our hearts. What we ignore with our eyes may still be seen by the unseen. Our homes are not just walls and roofs. They are spiritual environments. Places where angels enter, where mercy descends, where du'as rise, or struggle to rise. Allah reminds us in the Quran that He is Al-Latif, the most subtle. His workings are not always loud. They are gentle, precise, hidden in details we often overlook. A cracked plate, a broken chair, a mirror fractured into pieces. These seem harmless, but Islam teaches that barakah lives in order, cleanliness, intention, and respect for blessings. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught his companions to value even the smallest an'ima. Food crumbs were not wasted. Water was not used excessively. Objects were treated with care, not neglect. When something breaks in our home, two paths appear. One path is gratitude, repair, or respectful disposal. The other is neglect. And neglect, when repeated, becomes a habit of the heart. The Quran tells us that Allah does not change the condition of a people until they change what is within themselves. Our homes reflect what is within us. A house filled with broken and used, ignored items often mirrors a heart burdened with postponement and spiritual clutter. In Islamic tradition, cleanliness is not cosmetic. It is spiritual. Purity invites angels. Disorder repels tranquility. This is why wudu is required before salah. This is why physical purity precedes spiritual elevation. Rizq is not only money. It is peace between spouses, obedient children, contentment, unexpected ease, a heart that rests at night without anxiety. Many people chase rizq outside the home, while its doors are quietly closing inside. Cracked items send a subtle message of disrespect toward blessings already given. And Islam warns us gently, again and again. Those who do not honor small blessings are tested by the loss of greater ones. The Prophet, peace be upon him, never encouraged hoarding broken things without purpose. His life was simple, clean, intentional. Objects served a function. When they no longer did, they were removed with dignity. Modern psychology now echoes what Islam taught centuries ago. Clutter increases stress. Broken objects subconsciously signal incompletion. The mind remains restless, even if the object is unseen. But Islam goes deeper. Beyond the mind is the ruh. Beyond psychology is barakah. Angels love places of harmony and cleanliness. Shaitan thrives in neglect, chaos, and corners left unattended. Not because broken objects are haram, but because neglect weakens gratitude. And weak gratitude weakens connection to Allah. This video is not about superstition. It is about awareness. About realizing that the smallest daily habits can quietly shape our spiritual state. And as we move forward, we will uncover how broken mirrors, cracked plates, and old damaged items affect not just your home, but your unseen relationship with rizq itself. Because sometimes, the blockage you feel is not in the heavens. It is resting silently on your shelf. In Islamic understanding, nothing exists without purpose. Everything has a role, a place, and a time. When something loses its purpose and remains out of place, imbalance begins quietly. The Quran repeatedly calls believers to tadabbur, deep reflection, not only on the sky and mountains but on daily life, on homes, on habits, on what we keep close to us every day. Broken objects are not sinful by themselves. Islam never teaches fear of objects, but Islam teaches awareness of states. A cracked plate still used out of necessity is different from dozens of broken items kept out of laziness. One is patience. The other is neglect. Neglect is dangerous, not because of the object, but because of what it does to the heart. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, warned against wasting blessings. He taught that every ni'mah fragments. When plates chip, they no longer serve fully. When objects sit broken, they silently declare, "This blessing no longer matters." Over time, the heart begins to speak the same language. Islamic scholars often speak about barakah as something subtle. It does not scream when it leaves. It fades. Money arrives, yet disappears quickly. Effort increases, yet results shrink. The house is full, yet feels empty. In the Quran, Allah describes himself as the one who gives with measure. Rizq flows through channels of gratitude, discipline, and humility. When these channels are blocked by neglect, the flow weakens, not as punishment, but as consequence. Consider how angels are described. They love cleanliness. They love order. They love remembrance of Allah. They do not linger where disorder dominates. This is why the Prophet, peace be upon him, encouraged cleaning homes, removing harmful things from pathways, and keeping living spaces dignified. A home that tolerates brokenness begins to normalize spiritual cracks as well. Islamic history shows us something powerful. The companions of the Prophet, peace be upon him, lived with very little, yet their homes overflowed with barakah. But because nothing was ignored, nothing was wasted, nothing was kept without meaning. Today, many homes are filled with maybe later. Broken furniture waiting for repair. Cracked dishes stored just in case. Old items with no use, no intention, no future. Science now confirms something Islam already knew. Our brains respond to incomplete objects as unresolved tasks. They drain mental energy. They create low-level anxiety. They signal chaos. But Islam teaches that anxiety is not only mental. It is spiritual. A restless heart struggles to receive blessings fully. There is also a deep Islamic principle here, ihsan, excellence in all things, even in private spaces. Even when no one sees. When broken items are left untouched, ihsan disappears quietly. Life becomes rushed, careless, inattentive. Du'as are made, but the heart is scattered. Some scholars explain that rizq is connected to respect for what Allah has already given. When blessings are treated lightly, greater blessings hesitate to arrive. This is not mysticism detached from Islam. This is sunnah lived consciously. Even water was used sparingly by the Prophet, peace be upon him. Even sandals were cared for. Even crumbs were honored. Now imagine a home where broken things gather dust. Dust is not just physical. It symbolizes spiritual delay, postponement of responsibility, avoidance of closure. Shaitan does not need grand sins to weaken a believer. He prefers small neglects, daily carelessness, silent disorder. Not because broken objects invite evil, but because neglect weakens remembrance. And where remembrance weakens, blessings struggle to stay. The conflict deepens here. Many believers pray sincerely. They give charity. They fast. Yet their homes remain spiritually heavy. But because Islam is holistic, worship is not isolated to prayer mats. It flows into kitchens, shelves, corners, cupboards. The Prophet, peace be upon him, taught that Allah is beautiful and loves beauty. Not luxury, not excess, but dignity, order, intentional living. Broken mirrors distort reflection, and a distorted environment subtly distorts self-perception. A person begins to accept less peace, less clarity, less expectation from life. Rizq responds to expectation, to hope, to belief. When surroundings silently whisper, broken, the soul listens, even if the mind does not. And this is where the unseen conflict intensifies. Not between you and objects, but between awareness and heedlessness, between gratitude and neglect. Because the question is no longer about cracked plates. It is about cracked attention, cracked intention, cracked discipline. And as long as broken things remain unaddressed, something else remains broken too, quietly waiting to be noticed.
There is a moment in every believer's life when a hidden truth becomes clear. Not loudly, not suddenly, but with a weight that settles in the chest. Islam teaches that Barakah does not vanish randomly. It withdraws with wisdom. It pulls back when its presence is no longer honored. The most powerful realization is this: broken objects do not block rizq by their existence. They block it by what they train the heart to tolerate. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, lived among people who had almost nothing. Yet their homes felt expansive, peaceful, alive, because nothing remained without purpose. Every item had intention. Every space had awareness. When an object breaks, Islam invites closure. Fix it, repurpose it, or remove it with dignity. Closure brings spiritual flow. Delay creates stagnation. The Quran reminds us that Allah loves those who purify themselves. Purification is not only wudu. It is removing what no longer serves goodness. It is making space for what Allah wants to send next. Here is the truth many never hear. Rizq needs room to enter. A house filled with unresolved objects becomes spiritually crowded. Not physically, but energetically, intentionally. Angels move where clarity exists. Barakah settles where gratitude is visible. Cracked mirrors reflect fragmentation. They remind the soul of incompleteness. Old broken items whisper postponement. They normalize delay, and rizq does not flow into delay. Islamic scholars often mention that actions done repeatedly shape the unseen state of a person. Small actions, quiet actions, hidden actions. Removing a broken plate with intention can be an act of worship, because intention transforms movement into meaning. When you clean your home consciously, angels witness it. When you let go of what is broken, your heart learns trust. Trust that Allah will replace. Trust that Allah will provide. The Prophet, peace be upon him, promised that whoever leaves something for the sake of Allah, Allah replaces it with something better. This applies not only to habits, but to space, to environment, to lifestyle. The shock is not in the object. The shock is in how deeply Islam connects the seen and unseen. Many people wait for rizq to change their environment. Islam teaches the opposite. Change the environment and watch how rizq responds. When broken items leave your home, something invisible enters. Lightness, focus, readiness. And readiness is the doorway of Barakah. This is not superstition. This is Sunnah psychology. Divine order. Once this truth is seen, it cannot be unseen. Every neglected corner begins to speak. Every ignored object begins to ask a question. Why am I still here? And when that question is answered honestly, the home begins to breathe again. Islam teaches us that Allah is close, closer than we imagine, closer than our assumptions about big and small. Nothing in a believer's life is insignificant. Not words, not actions, not habits, and not the spaces we live in every single day. Your home is where your iman rests when you are tired. It is where your children learn Islam without books. It is where angels either feel welcome or quietly pass by. When broken items remain without intention, the heart slowly learns to accept less. Less excellence, less discipline, less expectation of barakah. Islam never asked us to live in luxury, but it asked us to live with dignity, with awareness, with ihsan even when no one is watching. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught us that Allah loves consistency. Small consistent acts, quiet consistent care, private consistent respect for blessings. Removing what is broken is not about fear. It is about faith. Faith that Allah sees. Faith that Allah replaces. Faith that Allah provides beyond what we cling to. Rizq is written, yes, but barakah is invited. Invited by gratitude. Invited by order. Invited by a heart that honors what it already has. Tonight, when you walk through your home, do not rush. Look with awareness, not judgment, not guilt. Ask yourself gently, is this item serving a purpose? Does it reflect gratitude? Does it align with the life I am asking Allah to give me? Letting go is not loss. In Islam, letting go is often the beginning of increase. A lighter home creates a lighter heart. A lighter heart makes room for tawakkul, and tawakkul attracts rizq in ways the mind cannot predict. Remember, Allah is Al-Kareem, the most generous, but generosity flows where appreciation lives. When your home reflects intention, your du'as carry clarity. When your environment honors blessings, blessings recognize where to land. Sometimes, the answer to our long-standing du'as is waiting behind something broken, waiting for us to finally make space. If this reminder touched your heart, do not let it end here. Reflect on it, act on it, and share it with someone who may need it quietly. If you believe Islamic reminders like this help awaken hearts and protect homes, support the channel by subscribing. Your support helps spread reminders that strengthen faith and bring barakah into daily life. Share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever noticed peace return after letting go of what no longer served you? Your experience may be a reminder for someone else. May Allah fill your home with light, your heart with contentment, and your rizq with barakah.